Welcome back, folks. Well, back on the Barracuda again. We're waiting on push rods to come in for the Oldsmobile and a few other parts. So we're gonna get back on this Barracuda. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go ahead and run the fuel system, build the fuel system out from the engine back to where the new fuel tank is gonna go. So I've ordered all those components, and you gotta sit down and really figure this out and kind of write it down. And then even after that, sometimes you may miss something like I did. I'm not sure how I ordered dash 4 elbows, but I did somehow. So there's that. But here's what we got today. So we've got our fuel filter. This is a 10 micron fuel filter. This is gonna come from the pump on the EFI fuel tank. It's going to be in between the pump and the fuel rails. So we got that. This is an Earls. This is, what is the part number? 731166ERL. So this is our 10 micron fuel filter. Bought a couple of elbows that are -6. You're going to see why. They're 90-degree elbows. I'm going to have to come across on both sides. You'll see that as we build it out. This is going to be the adapter for our fuel pressure sensor right here, because I don't even need this right here. The Holley Terminator already has a fitting on there, so I just need to plug this in somewhere. So we have fuel pressure for our Terminator, and it'll go on the readout on the Dakota Digital. So there's that. And then -6 tubing adapters. We're gonna need 2 of those. So I got 2 of those. And EFI hose clamps for the hose. So we're gonna run rubber hose flex from the back to the EFI tank to where the hard line's at. We've already got one hard line on. And then here is our EFI fuel pressure regulator. Now this is gonna be regulated on the return side where it goes back to the tank. So that's how we had it on the test stand. I think that's how Aaron ran it on the dyno. But this is our Holley EFI fuel pressure regulator, part number 12-886. And then last but not least, here is the fuel line we're gonna run. Been seeing people tout this a lot. This is I believe it's from Earls. It's a ZZ661625ERL. It's 3/8 diameter. It's a 25-foot coil, and it's olive. It's going to be a different color than the shiny that we had for the return. So this is going to be the feed. So we're going to get this straightened out, get the car, probably start dressing it out up top, and then we'll get this dressed out. And after this fuel system is run, basically all set up here, I will go ahead and order the Holley EFI ready fuel tank assembly that's made for a 67 to 69 Barracuda, and it comes with the pump, the pickup, the sitting unit, everything, as you've seen us do snipers before. Same thing. I may have a little bit stronger fuel pump in that, I'm not sure. But yeah, so then the fuel system will be done. Our transmission's already ordered. That'll be for another video coming later on, and gonna be a lot of discussion about that. So let's get started to getting this fuel system on this Barracuda. All right, fail number 1, already right out of the gate. This is what happens when you order fuel system components, fuel system fittings, fuel fittings specifically, when you're sitting in front of a desk and you're trying to think in your mind what you need. Well, my fuel rails are -8, and I have -6. Everything I ordered was -6. I have some -8 hardware, but I don't have any elbows. So basically, I need a -8 to -6 elbow, 2 of them. So right out of the gate, I would not have it any other way, just as I expected. Fail number 1. But it's not going to stop us. I think what we can do is go ahead and mount our fuel pressure regulator, and we can go ahead and run our hose, or excuse me, our hard line that's going to go back to the sniper tank. and you're going to see what we've done already. It is not fancy, it is not pretty, but it is going to be functional. So let's go to hopefully not fail next. All right, I just found where I had my regulator when I used to race this car, and it's already drilled for when we were racing with a different regulator, a carburetor regulator, but still same design. So ideally, I think it'd be best over here. I just don't want to drill. I can't keep drilling holes in this car. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and mount it here like it used to be, and I'm going to have my return, which is going to be here. It's going to have a 90 and come around and hit another 90, and then this one will have a 45. The 45 will go down to the hard line. I know it seems busy, but again, I just don't want to drill any more holes in this car if I don't have to. So guys in the audience, or you guys let me know what you think. I could come from the front, but you gotta remember my AC lines are about to go on. I've got them over there, they're already crimped. So I've got to get those on. And I just don't want this thing any busier than it has to be. And then I was going to run my sensor for the fuel pressure. Does it even reach? All right. So now I got a little bit more room, but geez. Man. I don't know. I'm having second thoughts. Second thoughts here. With an M5 riv nut. Well, our regulator's mounted. I got the rib nuts in there. Two things that are fail that I've got to order. That's why we're out here. I need a 3/8 NPT 90 degree to -6, because this is going to be our return. It's going to come around with a 90 degree, and we're going to try to route it this way with the 90 degree here. Try to keep it as clean as possible. And then we're going to go from here down to the return that we've already got set up. Now, this is where we have an issue. Now the engine is sitting down. Do you see how it's sitting? It's just leaning back. There's no transmission in it. The engine's going to stand up once the transmission is in, but although I can get it in there, it will give us some slack, but I'm just not sold on this yet. Just not sold on this yet. So let's leave this be for the time being. Let's go ahead and finish putting the hard line in on the other side so we can get it ready for the fuel tank when it comes in. So carrying on, but you can see you need to order your fuel fittings as you do it. You got to route them down. All right, so we have our return line and our feed line now plumbed. It's not the prettiest. It's definitely not the prettiest, but it is functional. So you come back here. The aluminum line is going to be the return line. This is the zinc. I'm not sure what it's made out of from Holley, but man, it's much more difficult to work with and bend, but it works well. It's very rigid. If I did it over again, if I had to do it over again, I would probably go with this on both sides, but we'll see. I think this is going to be just fine, the aluminum. But yep, it's going back here to the back. Got our tube nuts installed, and now it's just we've got our male is going to be the feed -6, and female -6 is going to be the return. The hollow EFI tank obviously will be right here. It's going to fit like the factory. And our hoses will probably come somewhere around in here. I'm going to have to reevaluate this emergency brake line, but I can't remember how the factory tank would always involve. Again, we just got some stuff that's temporarily set up over here. But yeah. Let's keep rolling on this fuel system. And now our 10 micron filter is coming between the pump and the inlet side of the fuel rail. So I think I'm going to put this where it's nice and easy to get to. And actually, probably use my little hooks here that hold the part of the wiring harness. I'm not using all of it, so I'll probably use it for the hose. So why not just put the fuel filter right about here? Try to make it as easy as possible. So I think I'm going to cut here and probably here. Yeah, here and there. So let's cut this bad boy and get that in there. In and out. Don't do it blindly. It does have an in. We got our AC hoses that are now crimped. I was going to wait and put these on after I get all this fuel system plumbed, but real nice gentleman over in Fort Smith, he actually did them for free. I mean, how nice was that? So, can't remember. Yeah, I got, I'll have to remember how these go, but yeah, they're all nice and crimped, pretty. So we'll get these on here pretty soon. Transmissions ordered. Hemi Denny Lobb, such a great guy. He's got our steering column, and he's rebuilding the steering column and cutting it and modifying it so it'll fit our rack and pinion. So thank you, Denny, if you're watching, buddy. So that's being done. Probably going to order that fuel system, like I said, and then we got to get a cooling system in this thing. So when you're building a car from scratch, it takes a minute. But for what we're doing, I'd say this car is moving along pretty darn well. You figure you're building a street machine that's got a modern engine in a 1960s car with a modern transmission, and it's going to have all the goodies inside. Man, getting back to AC, I'm not going to know what to do. So anyway, thank you for everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks, everybody. One last thing. We're going to put this in before the like, share, and subscribe, but all of our AC hoses are crimped and installed. So happy. So that is done. High pressure, low pressure, and then I'm not sure what this one is or however, but it's all in. This is from the, let's see, this Classic Air. This is all part of our Classic Air system. We've still got to wire in the trinary valve, and I believe this right here. Another thing here, might be the, not sure what this one is, but still got a few things. And we got to put our AC ducting and our defroster ducting. All that's got to go in. But man, are we making progress. So anyway, back to the like, share, and subscribe.